farmer call a cow that produces no milk? An utter failure. Hi, my name is Miss Sophie, and today I'm going to be taking you on a virtual field trip of a place that means so much to me. My mom grew up on a farm in Lancaster County, PA, and today we're going to take a virtual field trip of that farm. My cousin and best friend is the 4th generation getting ready to take over the farm, and she is going to give us all the details, give us all the information you need to know about this farm. So come on! Hello, this is my cousin Ellie, and she's going to explain to you her role at Star Rock Farms.
Hi guys, I'm Ellie, I'm Sophie's cousin, and I am also a farmer. Currently my dad and his 2 cousins own and run the farm. We grow crops, we milk cows, we raise steers, we raise pigs. So my role within the business is I'm a crop scout, and I also am an equipment operator. So I'm out in the fields running tractors, fixing stuff in the shop, and helping to grow all the crops and stuff that we do here on the farm.
And fun fact, Ellie and I are 2 days apart.
Yes.
Currently we're both 22 years old.
And college graduates.
Yep, and now we're gonna show you some of the equipment that Ellie works on. Right now we are standing in the shop at Star Rock Farms, where farmers like Ellie work on the equipment, and since this is not my expertise, I will let the expert explain all of the things that are around us.
Yeah, so this is where we pretty much fix all of our equipment. So when we're out in the fields planting corn or harvesting any of our crops, things break like anything else in life, and so we have to fix them and get them ready for when we want to use them again. So over here, this is a corn planter. This is what we take through the field to actually put the corn seed in the ground so that it can grow to be the corn that you see. Out over here is a combine, and this is what we take through the field to harvest whatever crop that we're trying to harvest. So this combine can harvest corn, can harvest wheat, can harvest barley, can harvest soybeans, and the way you change it around to be able to harvest all of those different things is you change the head that you put on it, basically. So this head right now, we're getting ready to combine our wheat. So this is what we take through a wheat field, what we would take through a barley field, and it basically cuts the barley or cuts the wheat, and it takes the grain and then puts it in the hopper on the top, and then this long auger will drop the wheat down into a truck, and then it goes to the mills. So right now we're getting this thing ready to be able to combine our wheat, because in a couple weeks we'll be out in the fields combining our wheat.
So when you combine any of your crops, you need 2 people, one to operate the combine and one to operate the cart, right?
Yep. We have one person in the combine, one person in the cart, and then the cart takes it to the truck, and then the truck takes it to the bins, to the mills. So, and we have 3 of these machines, so when we're harvesting all of our crops, we get it done really quickly.
And what do you do with all those crops?
So the crops that we grow, some of it we get made into the feed that we feed the cows up at the dairy, which we can talk about a little bit later. And then all of the grains that we harvest will go to the mills to be made into things like flour, cornmeal, ethanol, and like bread flour and stuff like that you guys would eat every day. So on our farm, we grow corn for cows to eat, and then we also grow field corn, which gets made into things like cornmeal. So it's not the kind of corn that you would eat on the cob, but it gets processed so that you can eat it in things like cornmeal and cornbread and stuff like that. And then we also grow wheat and soybeans. So this piece right here is a corn head. So just like the combine I showed you inside that had the head that was getting ready to go through and combine wheat, this head is made to combine corn. So the corn stalks come through here, each of these little notches, and this head will separate the corn cob from the actual stalk and take all the kernels off and store it in the combine and spit the rest of the plant out the back, because we only want the kernels out of the corn stalk. So we plant about 8,000 acres of corn total. So this will run over about 18,000 acres of corn. And in total, we farm around 13,000 acres. So we stay busy out there. Machine over here, this is a sprayer, And basically what this machine does is we take it into the field to basically apply anything that we would want to kill weeds with, or give the corn nutrients to grow. So this machine goes in and these wings unfold to 120 feet, and then the sprayer goes and mist comes out the back and sprays the corn. So this is where I keep all my tools that I use to fix the equipment in here. So pretty much everyone who works in the shop, the mechanics and stuff, we all have our own toolboxes, and this is kind of where we keep all of our stuff to fix and get the equipment ready to go out into the field. So I have wrenches, I have drills, I have screwdrivers, I have the whole 9 yards in here.
To fix all those big machines.
Yep.
So not only boys can have big toolboxes.
I have my own toolbox too.
What do farmers need to create crop circles? A protractor. Ha ha ha. So this is my dad's tractor. It's a 1948 John Deere A wide front. He got it many years ago from my grandpa, and now I'm going to give you a little tutorial on how to operate it. First you gotta climb on up. And one of the most important things to know, these little levers right here, these are the brakes. So if you need to stop, you push them down. And this little pedal over here, this is the electric start, right where my foot is. And then this is the gears. So when you're stationary, which means not moving, you can change the speed of the tractor, and you can also put it in reverse. This is the clutch. So you push it forward to make it go, you pull it back to stop it. And this is essentially like a gas pedal in a car or any other vehicle. This is the throttle. So this adjusts your speed. You push it forward to go faster and pull it back to slow it down when you're moving. And then the steering wheel. And that's how you steer the big tractor tires. Okay, so the first step to starting it is you gotta turn the key. And then you push this little thing down. Huge company, so like you have to have tons of employees. Can you talk a little bit about the different employees and positions?
Yeah, so a farm this big, we need a lot of different people to make everything work, to feed the cows, to run the equipment, to fix the equipment, to milk the cows, to get the milk from here to the processing plant. So overall, we have about 60-ish employees that work for Star Rock Farms in general. So that's everything that we do here. So that includes the people up at the dairy, that includes myself, the people who work with the crops and fix the equipment, that includes the people in the office. So we have our own office staff, and basically they are in charge of kind of keeping all the paperwork organized, keeping track of all the money, the finances, and all of those important things that you need in order to run an effective and also a safe business. And then, like I said, we kind of have employees like myself who run all the equipment, who run the combine that I showed you earlier, we have some guys who just kind of stay in the shop and are more of a mechanic. We have truck drivers, we need guys to haul the grain to and from the farm to the mill, and then we have the milkers up at the dairy, we have the people who feed the cows, who clean the cows, who clean the stalls out, and then we also have a bunch of people who work for us too, who also take care of the pigs and the steers that we raise in another location. So there's a whole bunch of people that you need to make something like this go around, and no job is more important than the other, because without one of them, then the farm wouldn't be able to operate.
Okay, so now we're at the dairy part of the farm, and Ellie's going to explain the cows and the milk and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so we're up here at the dairy. So this is where all of our cows live that we milk. So we milk about 1,500 dairy cows each day. They get milked 3 times a day. So with that amount of cows, our dairy is just running 24/7 because once they cycle through the first milking, it's time to start back up and circle around for the second milking. So an average cow will produce about 90 pounds of milk a day. And so this behind me is a trailer, and this is what takes the milk from the farm to the processing plant. It goes to Rudders and gets made and processed and pasteurized into the milk that me and you would drink every day. So we fill one of these about every 18 hours. Okay, so this is where the cows actually get milk. So what happens is the cows come in here, they line up, and they go through and they clean the udders where the milk comes out of. They clean the udders, and then they put, this is what milker is, and basically it suctions onto their udders and pulls the milk out. You can see the milk coming down in there. And then, so this cow will be milked. It takes a couple minutes to get all the milk out of the udder. And then the milk goes down through and goes into a big tank where we store the milk for the truck to come get it when it fills up.
Descarga la app de McDonald's hoy para ordenar y pagar sin necesidad de comprar.
So right now we're in one of our dairy barns at the dairy, and this is where the cows live, this is where they sleep, this is where they eat, this is where they drink. So right now they are currently eating, this is called silage, corn silage, and basically what it is, it's the entire corn stalk chewed up and put into a silo and fermented a little bit, and then we feed it to them. So this is super nutritious for them. It helps them produce a lot of milk, keeps them full, keeps them happy. So they pretty much have access to food all the time, 24 hours a day, because they are hungry, they're producing a lot of milk, they want to eat too. So they'll come in here and they'll eat. So this is corn silage. This is what I had said the cows eat. So this is the entire corn chopped up, and we load it in here, and then we cover it, as you can see over here, we cover it with tarps and lay tires over top of it, so it seals it all in, keeps it nice, good healthy mix to be able to feed the cows, and it also helps it ferment a little bit, and that's what the cows need. It needs to ferment a little bit before they eat it. So that's how we store it in here, and then we use this machine over here, this payloader. It's a giant, basically has a giant scoop on the front, scoop it up and put it in the mixer wagon that then takes it through and feeds the cows. And then over here, this truck that's sitting right there actually goes to and from Turkey Hill to get the waste ice cream product that Turkey Hill doesn't want to sell. And we actually mix the waste ice cream product into the feed so they can get some sugar. So essentially we also are feeding our cows ice cream too, because they like sugar, they want sugar just like me and you, so they get a little sweet treat from Turkey Hill as well.
What are their yellow tags on their ears?
Yeah, so each cow has a ear tag with a number on it, and just like how me and you go to the doctors and the doctor knows everything about our health, they have records of all of the shots we've gotten and when we've been sick and all of that stuff. We have all that information for every single cow. So we have 1,500 cows, so we have 1,500 records of for each cow. So we really try to keep track of everything to be able to keep these cows happy, healthy, and good at producing milk.
And what do you do when it's really cold or when it's really hot? How do you keep the cows comfortable?
So right now that it's warm, we have, as you can see, all of the doors opened up. When it's really, really hot, fans turn on, and all these right here are automatic sprinklers. So the barn actually will sense that it's hot, and stuff will automatically kind of kick on to keep these cows cool, because just like me and you, we don't want to be overheated. So we want to try to keep them as cool as possible and let air keep flowing. And then in the winter time, when it's really, really cold, we shut everything and close everything to help keep that heat in, and it can get pretty toasty in here in the winter time. They stay nice and warm in here.
And I have one more question for you.
Yes.
I see it looks like it's a little dirty in there. How do you keep it clean, and why do you need to keep it so clean?
Yeah, so every couple hours we have a system that automatically flushes a whole bunch of water down this pad where they poop on, and this flushes all of the poop and cleans that all away and puts it in a huge big manure pit that we later will go and actually spread on the fields, because cow manure actually has a lot of good nutrients in it and is really, really good to grow any sort of crop. So this washes out and we keep it clean, and it's an automatic system every couple hours, and that's really important to keep, as you can see, the cows are really clean. It's really important because when they're happy, they're at their happiest when they're clean, and that means they'll produce better. And so it's really important to try to keep the cow clean, because otherwise they're gonna be unhappy and they're not gonna do as well as you would want to.
Okay, so now we're in a different barn, and you can see behind us, this was just cleaned. So you can see how clean it is compared to the other barn, and you can see all the fans going, and the temperature in here is extremely comfortable. So I would be happy if I was a cow living in here.
If I were a cow, I'd be content in here.
Can you explain a little bit of the difference between corn that a cow would eat and corn that people would eat?
Yeah, so the corn that me and you guys like to eat, cows also like to eat, but it's not as nutritious for them. So, and we wouldn't want to eat the corn that the cows eat because it wouldn't taste good. You take a bite of it and you'd probably spit it out. But basically it's the nutrient content, and cows need different types of nutrients more than like what me and you need, and they have a different taste palette than what me and you need. So basically there's field corn and then there's people corn. So we grow the field corn that the cows eat. And then there's also different corn. You can grow popcorn so that you harvest that, and then that's what pops into your popcorn that you eat at the movie theater, and that's also different from the corn on the cob that me and you eat. So cows eat corn, but not the same corn me and you eat. The way a cow's stomach works is they have 4 stomachs. So they have 4 different chambers, and basically each chamber does a different part of their digestion. So if you've ever seen a cow chewing their cud, what they're actually doing is they're kind of burping up some of the digestion from their stomach, because there's bacteria in there that they're a little curious as to what I'm doing. There's bacteria in there that produce gas, and they have to burp it up. So that's what chewing their cud is. They're actually releasing some of the gas from their stomach while they were eating. Okay, so this is a baby cow. It's a calf. She was probably just born, probably in the last couple hours. She's still a little wet. Her umbilical cord is still hanging. She's still trying to figure out how to walk. She's a little wobbly. But yeah, this is where the baby cows are born. So these cows are pregnant, and the mom will hang out in here until she's about ready to give birth, and then she'll give birth just the same way that a human does. She usually will have one calf. It's kind of hard for cows to have 2, but they give birth, and then they hang out here for a little bit, and then we take them over to our calf barns where they can hang out with a bunch of their friends and all the other.
Okay, so you can see that most of the cows in here are black and white, which are called Holsteins, but we have a brown cow, which is called a Jersey cow, and now Ellie's going to tell you the difference.
Yeah, so like you guys know, a cow gives milk, and surprisingly, a brown cow does not actually give chocolate milk. That is a little bit of a lie. But yeah, so these are called Jersey cows, and basically just like there's different breeds of dogs, there's different breeds of cows, and different breeds of dogs are better at doing some things than others, and the same thing is true for cows. So a Jersey cow, the milk that she will produce has a bit of a higher fat content in it. So if you're interested in making things like butter or cream or something that you want a lot of fat content in the milk, you would want a bunch of Jersey cows because you want that fat content. Versus Holsteins don't have as much fat content in their milk, but they produce a lot more milk than what Jerseys do. So we have mostly Holsteins. We have only about 150 Jersey cows, but we have 150 Jersey cows because they kind of give us that right recipe for the amount of milk that we want to produce. It's not being produced for butter, but we still want some butter fat content in there. So that's why we have Jersey cows and Holstein cows.
I have a question for for you.
Yes.
Why do these cows' stomachs look so big?
So these cows here in this pen are actually pregnant and will be giving birth probably in the next couple days. So they kind of hang out here. We can monitor them, keep them really healthy, really safe, really clean, because they're about to bring a new baby into the world. And just like humans, you want to keep the mom happy and healthy and clean so that they can have a successful and a good, healthy baby, a good birth.
And I have one more question. The cows' tails. They're swinging everywhere. What do they use them for?
So the reason why the cows swing their tails so much is, some of which, like a dog, is because they're happy. Dogs wag their tails, so do cows. But they also will use it to get flies away. Like if there's a pesky like fly or something, or like an itch, they swing their tail to kind of get the fly to come off of them. Just like me and you would shush a fly off of our arm, they shush a fly away with their tail.
Okay, so how Ellie was explaining earlier how they still use the cow manure for the crops and stuff, she's going to explain a little bit more about what they use that for and how they take advantage of it.
So these big things that look like swimming pools behind me are manure pits. You would not want to go swimming in there unless you want to smell really bad for the rest of the day. So this is where all of the manure from the cows go. Once the barns get cleaned out and flushed out, it all goes through underground piping and gets stored in these big pits. And then every couple months we have big tanks that we load up with this manure, and we take it out to the field and we spread it on the field. So if you ever are driving around farmland and you're like, oh, that smells bad, it's probably because they just spread manure. But manure has really great nutrients that like the crops need to grow. It has lots of nitrogen, lots of phosphorus, and lots of potassium, and those are three really key nutrients that any good crop needs to grow in order to produce a good ear of corn or a good head of wheat. So we really take advantage of the waste that the cow produces.
Thanks Ellie for such a great tour today of Star Rock Farms, and thanks for coming along on a virtual field trip.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the farm and what I do, and next time you eat, remember to thank the farmer.